Hello, grade 12. So today we are starting your section of your sequence and series. Yes. So let's start with a bit of revision on your grade 10, well, grade 11 sequence and series. So now they are saying here we must determine the general terms for each of these sequences here. So now we start with the first one. We write it as it is. So we say it is 13, 14, and we have 15 here. So as we know that in grade 11, in order to find the general term, we use Tn is equal to Dn plus Q, whereby now your Q value is equal to T0, or you may say that your Q is equal to T1 minus your common difference. So now we need to first find the common difference here. So now our common difference, now we find it by saying, so common difference is going to be equal to T2 minus T1, or we can say T3 minus T2. So basically, now here we are going to say our difference, our term number 2 is 14 minus our first term, which is 13, and that's going to give us a common difference of 1. So therefore we see that here 14 minus 13 is 1, 15 minus 14, that is also 1. So it means that D is always going to be equal to Tn minus Tn minus 1. So then now we have to now find the general term for the sequence. So now, according to our standard format there, we know that Tn is going to be equal to 1 multiplied by n plus our q. So therefore now we need to find our value of q, which I already stated, that is equal to T1 minus our difference there. So now when we now want to find this T0 here, so this is T0, since 13 is T1, the term before T1 is going to be T0, and now as we go forward we see that we are adding 1, so therefore if we go back we have to subtract 1, so therefore that's why Q is T1 minus D. So therefore now we are going to say that, okay, what is 13 minus 1? 13 minus 1 is just 12. So therefore now we see that our T0 is going to be our 12, and that is our value of Q. So therefore Tn is going to be equal to n plus 12. So therefore let's put it to the test. So now if we say T1 is going to be 1 plus 12, which is 13. T2 is going to be 2 plus 12, which is going to be equal to 14. And we see that's going to be the pattern that we had the to find the general term of, guys. Yes. So now let us look at the second example now. So when we look at our second example, we write our sequence as it is. So now we know that it is minus 8, minus 5, minus 2, and then it continues. So therefore we now know that our first step is finding our common difference. So now to find the common difference here on the first two terms, it is going to be equal to minus 5 minus a negative 8. So therefore that is going to be minus 5 negative times negative, that gives us a positive, and that's going to be an 8. Then now we're going to say minus 5 plus 8, that's going to be 3. So therefore now we see that now we are going to have 3. So let's see for the second one now. Minus 2 minus minus 5, that's going to be minus 2 plus 5, which is still giving us 3, telling us that indeed we have a common difference between our terms. So now let us now find our value of Q. So now we already know that D is equal to 3, and then now Q is going to be equal to t1 minus the difference, which is going to be minus 8 minus 3. So therefore minus 8 minus 3, that's going to give us a negative 11. So therefore our general term is going to be equal to 3n minus 11. So let us test it out now. So if we have t1 is equal to 3 multiplied by 1 minus 11, that's positive 3 minus 11, giving us minus 8. And therefore also for t2, that's going to be 3 times 2 minus 11, then that is going to give us a negative 5 if you punch it into your calculator there. So let's do the last one for the show, guys. So the last one for the show, we see that here we've got the first term as being minus 5, the second term is minus 1, the third term is 3. So therefore let us do our regular stuff there, whereby we find our common difference. So therefore we know to find the common difference, it is t2 minus t1. So therefore we have minus 1 minus minus 5, which is going to give us what? It's going to give us a positive 4 if you punch into your calculator there. And then we now look at the other terms now, whereby it is going to be 3 minus minus 1, and then that is going to give us also 4. So now our common difference is going to be 4. Therefore we now know D is 4. Then we now need to find the value of Q, which is T1 minus the difference, and therefore it is going to be minus 1 minus 5 minus 4, which is going to give us minus 9. Therefore now our Tn is going to be equal to 4n minus 9, and that is going to be it for the linear patterns.